Hey guys, I hope you're all doing super well. So today's video is going to be a little bit more of a serious topic. I've been sitting here for the longest time trying to put my thoughts in words and figure out how I'm going to make this video. But finally, I've just decided I'm going to sit here and talk no filter because I am angry and this is a conversation that needs to be started. As you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about idols or YouTube idols, and I say it like that because it's people that I feel like have somehow made it into positions of influence and power, and just because you have lots of followers doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good person. I have been on YouTube for about 4 years now, so I have seen this whole social media influencer thing evolve. I've seen it go from a hobby, and I've seen good people build platforms and use them for good. But unfortunately, I've also seen people that aren't necessarily good and people that don't necessarily have the maturity to handle the responsibility that comes with something like having a platform and having followers, which most of the time are younger, impressionable followers. This isn't a new problem, and I want to emphasize that. If you've been on YouTube long enough, you'll remember the whole Sam Pepper fiasco. If you don't know who that is, he was basically a prank YouTuber, and one day he came out with a prank video where he would touch stranger woman in the street without their consent. He would grab their asses, and that to him was considered a prank video. And after he published that, I don't know what he was expecting. He received a ton of backlash for it. And after that, girls started coming forward saying that Sam Pepper had approached them inappropriately in a predatory way. And it finally received the attention that it needed to receive. And now Sam Pepper is irrelevant. I don't know what he's up to. I don't care. But unfortunately, recently we had a similar, actually worse event happen to the YouTube community. This Austin Jones guy, if you haven't heard of this whole thing, which I doubt you haven't because it was huge, but basically he was a singer. He had like a singing channel, very young demographic, very young audience, and he was just charged with 2 counts of producing child pornography because he would coerce his fans or ask his fans to create inappropriate videos for him for his own sexual gain. Now, I hadn't made a video on the topic because it's just so sensitive and it's so disgusting to me, but I was thinking about this a lot over the past few days, and there were a few more events that made me make it. I was looking at VidCon tweets. If you don't know what VidCon is, it's basically a YouTube convention. YouTubers, Viners, Instagram people all go to this convention in California once a year. And I saw tweets of this one Instagram model, a male Instagram model, who was being very rude to VidCon. Security guards, he was calling them ugly, saying they should die because they weren't letting him into a part of the VidCon event or something like that. He was using very, very ugly words just because he thought he deserved something, only because of his followers and because of how he looked. And this was kind of a wake-up call for me. I was like, you know what, there are so many people gaining influence every day, people that don't have good intentions and people that are genuinely ugly on the inside and they're bad on the inside, and they're gaining platforms, and it's dangerous because, sadly, these events, this Austin Jones event, this Sam Pepper event, they're not isolated events anymore. The final cherry on top for me to make this video was this other creator that was also at VidCon. I don't even remember his name, Dom Duarte, I think he's called. He posted a video of a girl dancing in her underwear, and he said something like my VidCon experience or something like that. And after he posted the super pervy video, another creator came forward to expose him because this Dom guy was touching other female creators inappropriately at VidCon without their permission, apparently because he was drunk. So after this other creator stated that, girls, underage girls as well, started coming forward saying that this Dom guy had approached them inappropriately at VidCon. To me, this was like alarms going off. I have a YouTube channel. Like I said, I've had this channel for a while, but I'm on the smaller side, yet I've also, it's grown, so I have been able to go to events like Playlist Live, and like, I've never been to VidCon, but I've been to Playlist Live, and you would be disgusted and you'd be so surprised if you knew about things that happen behind the scenes at these events. Like I said, these aren't isolated cases, and we need to talk about this. We need to bring attention to this, because we can prevent so many other tragedies from happening if we're only aware of this. And like I said, I know my audience is primarily young girls, so I'm here to remind you guys that just because you look up to someone, or just because someone has followers, it doesn't mean they deserve your respect. It doesn't mean that they're good people. It doesn't mean that you should trust them with your life. I, unfortunately, and it's sadly not just me, like you can ask many other female creators, have been put in an uncomfortable position just because someone who has power has made like inappropriate advances. And I understand how uncomfortable it can be and how hard it can be to come forward and speak about something like that, because just because someone has followers or fame, and I know I'm being repetitive, but just because someone has power, it doesn't mean you should let them take advantage of you in any way. And I guess my whole reason for making this video is, you know, I want to talk to 3 different audiences. One, if you are a YouTube consumer, if you're a fan of anyone, make sure you share this video with your friends. If you are a parent, and I think this is very important, if you're a parent, you need to be more aware of who your children are following, the events that your children go to, how they interact with people at these events, especially if they're underage. Because it's, you know, it seems to be a kid-friendly environment, but it's really not. So parents, I really urge you to do that. And creators, if you're watching this and you're a creator, I just really ask you that you consider just using your platform and using your voice for spreading love and for positivity and for nothing other than that. Because at the end of the day, you know, the world is a scary place, and if you have a voice and if you have a platform, you should use it for good and for nothing else. In any social interaction or relationship, even if it's consensual, if one person has more authority or power than the other person is immediately in a vulnerable position. This isn't just like in the social media space. I'm not only talking about this. This happens with like professor-student or teacher-student relationships. That's why they're considered inappropriate. But it's basically the same concept. For example, in this whole Austin Jones thing, and I told myself I didn't want to talk that much about it, but it's all the more disgusting because he knew that his victims looked up to him, and he knew that he had power over them, and he abused that. If you guys read the transcripts that were released of the conversations he had with his victims / fans, they're disgusting. He used language like, if you're my biggest fan, you need to prove it by doing XX, you know, doing whatever action, whatever disgusting perverted action he was asking them to do. And just the fact that he knew that these girls were vulnerable because they look up to him makes it all the worse, you know. This whole kind of imbalance of power relationship is dangerous enough as it is, but when it happens in a space like YouTube, where, like I said, the majority of the demographics are young, vulnerable girls, it's all the more scary, and it's all the more necessary to talk about things like this. So I guess, like I said, viewers, share this with your friends. Parents, please be more aware of what's happening in your kids' lives. And creators, just be kind and use your platform for good. I don't even know. It blows my mind to think that there are people out there that have this authority, not authority, but this power to influence, and they'll use it for something other than good. Like, I can't imagine using my platform for anything else but to help you guys and to spread love and to help you be happier, more whole human beings. So it just blows my mind, and it makes me very, very sad. I'm honestly heartbroken right now that this is the community that YouTube is. Obviously not all of it, but you know, it's a part of the community, and I feel like it shouldn't be a part of the community at all. To wrap this video up, which I hope isn't too ranty, I just want to remind you guys that bad people and predators and people who want to hurt you aren't always creepy looking old men lurking in a corner. They can be beautiful, and they can be smooth talkers, and you can look up to them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they deserve you and that they're not going to hurt you. I don't want to leave on a negative note though, so I do want to remind you guys that there are good people in the world. I feel like there's still more love than there is hate in the world, so we have to focus on that and focus on sticking together, empowering each other, and just making sure that we spread enough love to combat all that hate, you know, to outnumber it 100%. If you guys need more information or someone to talk to on any of the topics I just talked about, I'm going to leave resources down in the description box. And as always, if you guys need someone to talk to about anything at all, my inboxes are always open to you. All my social medias are down here. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys feel as passionately about this topic as I do, make sure to share it with your friends and leave a thumbs up down below because that always helps a lot. But I love you guys bunches. Thank you so much for watching. I send a million kisses your way, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!